Hello, this is Trading with Confidence, and I'm John Breland. So today I'm going to talk about why traders fail, and I'll discuss a little bit about the mindset that a trader has to have in order to be successful. So let's get to it. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is that about 95% of traders lose money. So in reality, most traders, if not 100% of traders, lose money, but they also win money. But in the long run is the question. Over a period of 2 years, is your account ahead or is it behind? That's how you can really judge whether you're a good trader or not. So the trading arena is open to pretty much everybody. And that basically means that you are dealing with people that don't have the skills that you have, that do have the skills that you have, and have much better skills than you have. And imagine it this way. Imagine a football game where you have professional players on the field, and then you also have average people on the field. So who's going to make all the touchdowns? Is it going to be maybe one or two average people somehow get around these professional players? But the professional players are ultimately going to be the one controlling the ball and making all the touchdowns. And that's just a fact. That is the arena of trading. You're dealing with people who really know what they're doing, which aren't that many of them, and a bunch of people who are making a lot of mistakes. So obviously the professional football players have done a lot of work to become professional, and the average person has not. And so this series is going to be about how you can start on the path of becoming professional. And one of the most important things you need to have is a very good system. And then you need to have the discipline to stick to that system. And you need to have the emotional fortitude to carry out trades in that system. When you sometimes lose, and when you sometimes don't win exactly as much as you wanted to win, and so forth. So to get to the core of the market and what's happening in the market, you have to understand that the market is all about fear, greed, and not knowing the future. So every participant in the market is there to make money. They're there to take your money, and you are there to take their money. And that's it. There's no service being provided to anybody, unless you consider service to be teaching somebody the realities of the market by taking their money. I mean, that could be considered a service, but it's not like getting paid for something that you do for them on a personal level. So there's no satisfaction necessarily from serving people, yet the allure of making millions of dollars is there. So that overcomes that sense of missing satisfaction in the markets. So likewise, as you trade more and more, the more humble you will likely become. And I kind of like to think of it as there's no way to win in the market, and that's, don't get me wrong. What I mean, let me explain what I'm trying to say here. So if you take a trade, let's say you take a trade, you go long up here, and the market starts to go down on you, right? Like that. And you say, I give up, this trade is not working, and you get out. You've lost money. That's one way of losing money. Okay? Let's say you're right here and you say, well, last time I traded, I lost money, so I'm going to stay out for a while. I'm going to kind of like catch my breath. And you see the market move all the way up here. That's opportunity lost. By not taking a trade when it was right to take a trade, you've lost money. And the third way you can lose is by, let's say you did take this trade, but you only put $100 into this trade. So when the market moved up double, you made $100, and you're thinking, oh, if I only put 1,000 in, if I only put 10,000, I'd have $10,000. So you lost out on what could have been. The market will not make you happy. It will not make you happy unless you just suddenly get this sudden windfall that you didn't expect or something. But if you're constantly trading, you have to be really, really, really good in order to be somewhat satisfied in the market. And then even very, top traders have come to realize that satisfaction really comes elsewhere. Well, that said, still trading is a very interesting game, and there's a lot to learn about yourself and about psychology, and so in my opinion, it's worth doing. And it's worth making money. Heck, the money is good too. Let's put it that way. So to have the right mind of a trader, all those things just should not matter. It really shouldn't. If you lose money in the market, it should not matter. If you miss a trade, it should not matter. If you didn't put enough money in when it was a really good trade, it should not matter. If you can get to that point as a trader, you've taken a huge psychological step in your favor. So that's something I really want to point out, that new traders just don't have that. That's something that's not developed. It's a skill. It's a learning. It's an experience. But that ultimately is where you have to be a good trader. In a sense, it's like money. It's like money has to be important, and money is important, but it has to be important and not important at the same time. So if money were just not important at all, it would be so easy to take a trade because it wouldn't matter. Nothing would matter. But you have to act in the market as if it didn't matter, because you have to when you see your trade, you have to take it. And sometimes it's a good idea to put a lot of money in, and it should not matter to you if you actually lose it. So that's the conundrum that a lot of new traders find themselves in, and that's like a huge learning curve. And the learning curve is not necessarily technical; it's emotional. It helps a lot if you have a backup source of income, or if your family has a lot of money or something like that to back you up if something goes wrong, or or another way of looking at it is, if you have a certain amount of money and you know how much you're willing to lose, then you can take a portion of that money and trade only with that portion. So let's say you have $100,000 and you say, well, I need that $100,000 for whatever it is, retirement or college or whatever it is. But I need really more like $90,000 for my dream to come true in that area, right? So then you have an extra $10,000 or so that you can play with. And if you were to lose it, it really wouldn't make that big of a deal. It'd be kind of hard to lose that money, but it wouldn't be that big. It's not going to change your life entirely. And the nice thing about crypto trading is that you don't really need a lot of money to learn how to trade. The thing is, the more money you put in, the more attention you pay to your trade. So another thing is, with paper trading, I paper traded for probably 2 years, and so it's kind of a process that you kind of have to do in the very beginning, because you don't know what the heck you're doing unless you have a good instructor. And in my case, I can save you years of paper trading, because I can show you exactly what to do in the markets and how to trade them. So that's all I have about the right mindset for trading. There really is a lot more, and it all comes with experience, but I think this is a good start, and I hope you've learned something. And if you have, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.